Hey guys, I'm back and I'm here to review Scream 2. So Scream 2 is directed by Wes Craven, written by Kevin Williamson, and it stars Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, and a bunch of all these other young, hot actresses. So 2 years after the first film, a new psychopathic killer is going and picking up a knife, putting on the mask, and is trying to recreate the murders that occurred in the first film. So most people say that sequels suck and that they shouldn't be made. And is that true? Well, most of the time, yeah. I mean, even the characters in our movie, in Scream 2, are sitting around talking about how bad sequels suck. Yeah, you can kind of tell how much self-awareness they're putting on this sequel. So Scream 2 is equally as fun as the original. Some people may tell you, no, it's not as good because it's not going to compare to the original because the original is, it's the original. The first is the first and nothing is ever going to change that. But in this case, it is not true. Scream 2 is a great sequel that I consider up to par with the original. Does that mean that I like it more than the original? Well, no. And one of the great things about this movie is having the characters return and have them sitting around discussing the horror movie rules of a sequel in order to survive the sequel that they are in, but they don't know that they are in. That made sense, right? It continues to poke fun at itself without taking itself too seriously, which is key to this franchise. I mean, it knows what it is and what it wants to be, and it plays off of that. The body count is in fact bigger and bloodier, which is one of the rules in a horror movie sequel. The body count is always bigger and the death scenes are always much more elaborate. As it being a sequel to Scream, you do kind of get what you're expecting. You do get the same formula from the first movie into this one. So at one point to this, kind of predictable, but the one thing that is never predictable is who's behind the mask and who's making all this stuff happen. Which, when I first watched it and I found out who the killer was, I wasn't really that impressed, but then there's a line that Neve Campbell has after she sees who the killer is, and Neve Campbell says her line, and then it completely twists it around again. So it's like you get a twist, but then you get another twist right after it. All in all, Scream 2 is a great sequel, and it is up to par with the original. Now, because I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first one, I'm giving it a rating of 4.5 out of 5. So that is my review of Scream 2, and be sure to check out my review of Scream 3, which should be up in near coming future. And be sure to check that out when you see it.